I am back at it with this yellow T-5R sedan. And yesterday I ended with putting that rear main seal in, and that thing is set. And today I'm going to be tearing the interior out and doing a heater core. I think the dash has to come out of this thing for a dash repair. I'm going to do the firewall junction and everything else that I need to do to chisel down this punch list. So let me get to work on pulling this center console out and some of this other stuff in here, and we'll just truck along. This thing needs a roof liner as well. I have the shifter assembly out. Man, this thing is in rough condition now. The assembly itself works fine. The plastic has minimal damage on the top of it, but this knob is pretty rough. A lot of rubber has come off of it, and the veneer is chipped there, has crack over here. This knob is pretty much trash. That's a shame. People with autos are looking for good knobs. I have a couple, but I don't know if I have any for sale. We are making some progress here. We got the pedals out, every one of them. We got all the center console stuff out, shifter and all that stuff. Getting ready to take the heater core out. We do have the power amp out. After we take the heater core out, we're going to take that firewall junction out. We are moving right along. Have the heater core out. As you can see, the actual body of the core is really dark compared to the outer edges. This may be the original core. It's at least 15 years old. Wasn't leaking too bad, just barely starting to leak in the crevices. But when they get old, they could just explode the bottom of them, just split open. But anyway, let me go ahead and get the new one, get it ready to go in. We got a male heater core. It's actually made by Bear, which is, I think, the OEM manufacturer for these. You can see probably Volvo scraped off of there. But for a little while, they were making these heater cores out of this black material. I don't think these were lasting as long as the tan heater cores. So you want to keep an eye on this. Probably 3, 4 years, 100,000 miles, and this is probably what you'll get out of this one. After installing, man, probably a few hundred of these heater cores, I decided to read the instructions. And there was some interesting stuff in the instructions. Mainly that you, first of all, find out why the heater core actually needed to be replaced in the first time. So if it blew, if it's leaking, investigate as to why you need to replace this heater core is one of the highlights of it. Secondly, they say it should be only installed by a licensed trained professional. And if you don't have it installed by a professional, you will void your warranty. Also in here, it talks about purging the system, properly bleeding it, making sure it heats up and circulates the coolant through it and it doesn't have any air in there. So it's interesting, a few things I've seen in the instructions, and I was kind of surprised that I finally decided to read it. Moving right along, I decided to hang the steering rack so it wouldn't fall all the way out from away from the vehicle and stress anything. I needed to raise the lift up, make it a little easier to work on this heater core, firewall junction, and all that jazz. So I have the car lifted up, and now I don't have to bend down so far or lay down on my back to work on this stuff under the dash. I gotta work on getting this dash removed and pulled out of the car. However, I don't know if I have enough room to actually get the dash out because the lift limits the travel of the doors. Maybe I'll get it out of the driver's side, but you see these chunks missing out of the dash, and David has purchased some dash facing that we're going to try to transport onto this dash frame. So let me work on getting this thing out of here so that we could see if it's possible to transfer this on these 850s. I've never done it on the 850. I imagine it's going to be tricky, but I need to do that. So here I've pulled a couple of the screws out of the dash, and I still have that rack supported, and this is some other things I've done. I got this windshield wiper assembly out of the way, and I did not have a bolt in this corner of the dash, the driver's side corner. But I got the other ones out, and the dash seems to be maybe stuck to the firewall. So I got to see if I could get that loose and pull that thing out of here. Like I said, I'm going to try to get it out of the driver's side. But, you know, there's just pieces of this dash that are busted up, and we want to try to make this better. Because with all this stuff busted up and loose, the car just, first of all, it's noisy. Secondly, it's just unsightly. All this plastic busted out. I don't know. Somebody must have been over tightening things and taking the dash out, putting it in, wasn't careful with it. The veneer's peeling off. Now, this car came from Texas, so that Texas heat doesn't help. Some of this stuff just is in rough shape, and it's going to be like that until it's replaced. So let me see if I can massage this dash off of this firewall and try to get it out of this side of the driver's side. It's going to be tight, but I'm just about got everything loose. I maybe have a couple more screws to get loose, make sure all my wire harness is loose, and try to get this out. So massaging the passenger side, it came loose easy, but it still seemed like the driver's side is stuck a little bit. So I'm going to work on this thing, and it didn't seem loose before I unbolted everything, so this dash has probably been repaired before. Let me keep working it, see if I can get it out. And looks like this thing has had a windshield replaced on it. I don't see a date on this windshield, but maybe somebody busted some of it up doing the windshield. But here it is. I finally got it out. It was not glued. Maybe whoever put that windshield in caused some stuff to glue that one side in, but there it is. I got it all out. Got to figure out how to take some of these pieces and replace them, and then get to work on some of this other stuff. But I don't like tearing everything apart at one time. I like working on one thing at one time so I don't get too confused, but I gotta try to get a flywheel from home.
If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.